dear student, today you are most welcome in physics class 12th. Today I will discuss you application of Gauss law, whose third application, that is to calculate electric field intensity due to uniformly charged spherical cell. Okay, let me first of all know what is a spherical cell. A spherical cell is nothing but it is a hollow sphere having certain radius. As you know, a sphere is a three-body shape. So a spherical cell and hollow spheres are similar structure. If they are charged, the charges are totally distributed on its surface. Okay, let us assume here a uniformly charged spherical cell, that is hollow sphere of radius capital R. Let R be the radius of the spherical cell. Okay, हम यहाँ पर इसके बारे में कुछ लिखते हैं. Let sigma be the surface charge density of spherical cell of radius capital R. इसे आप इस तरह भी लिख सकते हैं कि let us consider a spherical cell of radius R whose surface charge density is sigma. Okay, these are the things which we have to be given. हमें ये पहले से दिया रहेगा. We have to find out the electric field intensity, that is capital E, due to this charged spherical cell at different points from its center. So let me consider first point P. अब मानते हैं कि सेंटर से R डिस्टेंस पर पॉइंट ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन जो हम लेते हैं इसमें स्फेरिकल सेल के कारण जो कि यूनिफॉर्मली चार्ज्ड है, पॉइंट ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन जो P लेते हैं उसकी डिस्टेंस हम मान लेते हैं कितनी है, स्मॉल r. तो स्मॉल r की इस स्फेरिकल सेल के संदर्भ में तीन विशेष स्थितियां हो सकती हैं. वन, द पॉइंट P which is point of observation lies outside the spherical cell, means small r greater than capital R. And second, if small r is exactly equal to capital R, that means it is equal to the point of observation lies on the surface of the spherical cell. And third case is if the point of observation lies inside the spherical cell. Let me do one by one. What is the amount of electric field by the calculation? Okay, let me do it. First, consider if point P lies outside the spherical cell. Outside the spherical cell. What it means? It means small r is greater than capital R. Definitely जो point of observation है उसकी डिस्टेंस हमारी spherical cell की जो capital R रेडियस है उससे ज्यादा है. तो यहाँ मान लेते हैं कोई point P है. Here be the point P which is at a distance small r from center of the spherical cell. So we have to apply the Gauss law. As you know, the Gauss law के application में हमें क्या चाहिए? We have at least closed Gaussian surface, show that the charges are enclosed within the Gaussian surface. Without closing the charge, we can't apply the Gauss theorem. That's why अब यहाँ पर हम देखते हैं कि किस प्रकार की गॉसियन सरफेस बनाना हमारे लिए सुविधाजनक होता है. एज यू नो, स्फीयर इज ए सिमेट्रिकल सरफेस. स्फीयर इज ए सिमेट्रिकल बॉडी. सेंटर से स्फीयर के सरफेस का हर पॉइंट इक्वल डिस्टेंस पर होता है. दैट्स व्हाई इट इज ए सिमेट्रिकल शेप बॉडी. तो इसके लिए वी विल ड्रा ए सिमेट्रिकल गॉसियन सरफेस, but not the having radius capital R, but having radius small r. Let us draw the Gaussian surface like that. Okay, this is the Gaussian surface. In short, we write as a GS. Okay, if we draw a Gaussian surface of radius small r, which is symmetrical in shape, spherical in shape, and symmetrical, then obviously the point P, which is point of observation, must lie on the surface of that Gaussian surface. Okay, so let electric field intensity at this point be capital E vector. Okay, why we write vector E directed outward? Because E at point P is because of the positive charge which is distributed over the spherical shell. Okay, construct a area element around point P on the Gaussian surface or the spherical shaped Gaussian surface. Its direction, area element vector, which is ds vector, will also be in the same direction as the direction of electric field at point P, or you can say electric field intensity vector E and area element vector ds both are parallel or in the same direction. What is here we have to calculate? Let us, if it is given sigma be the surface charge density, then the total charge present inside the Gaussian surface, that is Q, is equal to sigma into S, that is sigma into 4 pi capital R square. As we know, sigma is nothing but Q upon A or S. That's why I write here Q is equal to sigma S, which is equal to sigma into 4 pi R square. The flux passing through area element which is d phi E will be equal to E dot ds, and this is nothing but E ds cos theta means cos 0, that is it is simply E ds. Okay, this is the flux which is coming outward through area element vector. Now total flux passing through Gaussian surface, that is phi E is equal to closed surface integral E ds. Okay, and this is nothing but we take E outside and here ds, and this comes out to be E into S, and this is equal to E into 4 pi R square. What is here? As total surface area of the Gaussian surface, that is 4 pi R square. If we integrate ds, we found S, and S is nothing but total surface area of the Gaussian surface or the sphere having radius small r. So we write in place of S equal to 4 pi R square. This is our equation first, which is the total electric flux passing through this Gaussian surface because of this charge distribution. Okay, and this can be obtained because of mathematical calculation. Now we know that, but from Gauss theorem, from Gauss law, what we have phi E is equal to Q upon epsilon 0. What is Q here? This one. So Q, in place of Q, we will write sigma into 4 pi capital R square upon epsilon 0. This is our equation second. Okay. Now, if we look the equation first and second, left hand side of both the equations are equal, then there must be right hand side of the equations are also equal. So we can write this as by comparing equation first and second, we get what we get is, comparing equations, E into 4 pi small r square is equal to sigma into 4 pi capital R square upon epsilon 0, or that is E is equal to 4 pi and 4 pi cancel out. We have E is equal to sigma into capital R square upon epsilon 0 small r square. Okay, this is expression for electric field intensity at point P if it is lies outside the spherical cell. From this expression we can say that E is proportional to 1 upon r square, because surface charge density of the spherical cell is constant, specific. In the specific case, epsilon 0, which is permittivity of the free space, is also constant. Capital R is the radius of the spherical cell. That's why at a particular case it can also be treated as a constant. What is changing here? Point of observation. Whether the point of observation is very close to the surface of the spherical cell or it is at a very large distance. According to that, we have value of electric field intensity, which is inversely proportional to the distance or point of observation from the center. We can see this expression in another form as, we write sigma equal to Q upon 4 pi r square. So we can write as Q upon 4 pi capital R square into capital R square epsilon 0 r square. So r square cancel out. We will get 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 small q upon small r square. This is also the expression for electric field intensity at a point which lies outside the spherical cell. It is, if we look this expression, it is very similar to the expression as we have studied earlier, the electric field intensity due to point charge. Okay, if any point charge q is placed somewhere in the space or free space, then at point, from point charge at a distance r, the electric field intensity we have calculated was that is equal to very similar to that one. So we can conclude here that the point of observation, if point of observation lies outside the spherical cell, the whole charge distributed over the surface is looked at as they are at the center. Total charge is supposed to be concentrated at the center of the spherical cell, but actually really it is not, because of this expression which is similar to the expression for electric field intensity due to point charge. We can say that rather the charge distributed on the surface of the spherical cell, it is very similar to the case that the point as if the point the charges lies at the center of the spherical cell. Okay, we will take another case, which is if the point P, second case, if point P lies at surface of the spherical cell. Okay, spherical cell. If point P lies at the surface of the spherical cell, what does it mean? It means that our small r distance or point of observation just will be equal to the radius of the spherical cell. Then substituting this value in vector form, we can write this as E equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q upon r square r cap. Means if it is positively charged spherical cell, then E always directed away from the charge distribution or outward, radially outward direction. If it is negative, it is inward. So replace small r by capital R, we will get is exactly equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 q upon capital R square, or you can say q upon 4 pi R square will be replaced by sigma upon epsilon 0. Either you write in this form or in this form. Both expressions are very similar to that. This is the our second case. Now we come to the third case. Okay, अब हम तीसरी केस लेते हैं. तीसरी केस हमारी क्या है? If point P lies, third case is if point P lies inside the spherical cell. Okay, spherical cell. यानी अब हमारा जो पॉइंट ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन है वो स्फेरिकल सेल के ना तो बाहर है दूर और ना ही पृष्ठ पर है, बल्कि ये कहां लाई करता है? इसके अंदर. इट मीन्स दैट स्मॉल आर मस्ट बी लेस देन कैपिटल आर. अब हमें पॉइंट ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन जब अंदर लेना है तो वी ड्रा अनदर फिगर विच इज ऑफ डिफरेंट टाइप. जस्ट let us assume here that point of observation is at point P here. This is the distance of point P. Now in this case we will draw another Gaussian surface of radius small r. Okay, अब हम एक नया Gaussian surface ड्रा करते हैं whose radius is smaller than the radius of the spherical cell. It means it is Gaussian surface lie inside the spherical cell. तो यहां पर भी अगर हम देखें तो एरिया एलिमेंट वेक्टर इज रेडियली आउटवर्ड ड्रॉन एंड इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी वेक्टर इफ इट इज E at this point which is assumed to be different than the E at outside our surface, but let me assume here if it is E, then it must also be directed outward because charges are here considered to be positively, charges are positive. So what is total flux? Phi E can be written as equal to closed surface integral E dot ds, which is equal to E ds closed surface integral. That means E into 4 pi small r square, very similar to the case first. Okay, and but from Gauss law total flux would be क्या होना चाहिए? Flux total it must be equal to 0 because no charges are enclosed within the closed surface. स्फेरिकल सेल है तो स्फेरिकल सेल में चार्जेस सरफेस पर हैं, तो अंदर चूंकि ये हालो है तो अंदर तो चार्ज आए नहीं. फॉर दिस Gaussian surface you can say Gaussian surface, for this Gaussian surface it doesn't enclose any charge. That means Q is equal to 0, so phi E can be written as equal to 0. Comparing both, we get what we get? E into 4 pi r square is equal to 0. That means E is equal to 0. So in third case, which is a point of observation lies inside the spherical cell, the electric field intensity will be 0. अब ध्यान रहे पॉइंट ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन की कोई स्पेसिफिक शर्त नहीं है. इट मस्ट वेरी क्लोज टू द सरफेस, बट इट इज इनसाइड, इट इज एट द सेंटर. ये कहीं भी इसके अंदर केंद्र से लेकर पृष्ठ तक की, यानी केंद्र से पृष्ठ के बीच के किसी भी पॉइंट पर हम कहीं भी ले लें पॉइंट ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन, but the electric field intensity must be 0. So we have got 3 electric field intensities, but in 3 different cases. First case, electric field intensity inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the point of observation and center of the sphere. It means as we go away from the center of the spherical cell, the electric field intensity goes on decreasing as E is proportional to 1 upon R square, but that the surface of spherical cell, it remains at a fixed value, means constant, that is maximum value, and inside it is 0. Let me draw a curve which shows the variation of electric field because of this spherical cell. Let me draw the curve. This is the spherical cell whose center is here, and draw a straight line like that. This is the center, analogous to center, and this is the distance of point of observation, means this represents small r, and at the extreme points of the diametrically opposite ends of the spherical cell, we draw a vertical line like that. Here r is equal to capital R is equal to minus capital R, we can write as, if it is 0. Then what is the nature of the electric field? As from the equations, first equation was E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square. Okay, and the second was E is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon capital R square. Okay, and third was E is equal to 0. All these three equations we have derived. So let us draw the curve like that. At center, from center to the extreme, means up to surface, what is the nature? Electric field intensity will be 0 from here to here. Okay, this is C, and this is A, and this is B. Okay, C, A and B, these are the points. तो इस पॉइंट पर जैसे ही स्मॉल r इज इक्वल टू कैपिटल R आते हैं, इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी हैज गॉट दिस मच वैल्यू, एंड हियर इज आल्सो इट गॉट दिस मच वैल्यू व्हिच इज कांस्टेंट. ओके, बट अवे फ्रॉम दैट द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी वेरीज इन अकॉर्डेंस विद दैट वन. E is proportional to 1 upon R square, but away from the spherical cell outward, it is very similar to that one, means this curve shows the behavior of electric field intensity with respect to the distance of point of observation from the center of the spherical cell, and in all these cases we have derived that there is no electric field inside the spherical cell. One important point should be noted here, that a spherical cell and a conducting sphere solid, which is not a spherical cell or hollow, if it is conducting a sphere solid, so what will happen? If a conductor is charged, no charge lie inside it. Okay, तो spherical shape का कंडक्टर अगर है, चालक है, तो उसको आवेशित करेंगे, तो चार्जेस ऑलवेज रिसाइड्स ऑन द surface of the sphere. Okay, solid sphere होने पर भी the case is very similar to the spherical cell like. So we doesn't discuss this, हम इसे डिस्कस नहीं करते हैं. Conceptually we understand here that कि अगर वो charged solid sphere है, तो the case is very similar because no charge lies inside the sphere. So all these cases are can be derived as very similar to that one. But if this rather than spherical cell, if we take a sphere which is not a conducting sphere but it is insulator, क्या है? Insulating sphere, not hollow but solid sphere. Insulating कह सकते हैं, insulator solid sphere, then the charge will be distributed among its volume on the volume of the solid sphere. So the case here will be different, that one. इसका डिस्कशन अगले किसी लेक्चर में हम कर देंगे. ओके, आज के क्लास में आप लोगों को कोई भी बातें समझ में ना आई हो, किसी भी प्रकार की दिक्कत होती है तो आप अपना कमेंट जरूर दीजिए, क्योंकि आपका कमेंट हमारे लिए प्रोत्साहन होता है और हम उस जो भी दिक्कतें आती हैं उसको इम्प्रूव करने की कोशिश करते हैं। ये जो लेक्चर है बेसिकली वर्तमान परिदृश्य में आप लोगों को जो कि स्कूल नहीं जा पा रहे हैं, हर बच्चे तक एक लाइव क्लास जैसा माहौल क्रिएट करने के लिए मेरा ये प्रयास है। आप लोग अधिक से अधिक इसका लाभ उठाएं। दैट्स ओके, बाय।